Hey Jaggers, it's Jack, and today we're going to blow some bubbles. Elden Ring has two sorceries that make bubbles, and they're not that good. There's a variety of reasons as to why I believe they're not great, the biggest one being their time to cast. It takes ages to blow bubbles in this game, but both are pretty easy to get when starting a run, so that's cool, I guess. So yeah, rules. Beat Elden Ring by only blowing bubbles. No uses of spirit ashes or consumables. And as per usual, I start as a wretch and I discard my weapons. With all that being said, let's make our bubble buddy a Lord of the Eldens. After creating this run's abomination, I beeline to the Oracle Bubbles spell. Once I got this spell, I rushed to Caelid to get my hands on the Meteor Staff. I still needed to get the Great Oracular Bubble spell, so I went to get it too by using the teleporter south of the Worshipper's Woods, Site of Grace. And the build is pretty much done. Not really. I still need to get a better staff, but the Meteor Staff will do for now. Since it can be upgraded, it gets some pretty solid scaling for the early game. Once I had all my spells and stuff, I decided to get as many Sacred Tears and Golden Seeds as possible to upgrade my flasks. I also made sure that I got the Arrow Reach Talisman. It makes the bubbles go a little farther, and that little bit of range might save me. And as per usual, I shook down the Cavalry Knight for its lunch runes. With all that prep done, let's go see how these spell fare against Margit. And it did alright, I suppose? They're painfully slow, but dealt alright damage, so I got something to work with. So now that we're here, we might as well deal with Godric. I noticed it had some pretty crazy tracking. With Godric down, I need to get my hands on a better staff. So I did some research and learned no staves boost the bubble spells. This led me to 3 staves I could potentially use, them being Azur's staff, Lusat's staff, and the Carian Regal Scepter. After a little while of deliberation, I decided I would get the Royal Scepter. This meant I had to beat Rennala using magic, and thus began my preparation journey to beat Rennala. Firstly, I got the Magic Tear. Once I got that, I headed to Caria Manor, where I beat Loretta's ghost. We meet again, salty dish. I need some stuff, and I know you got stuff. I got your stuff, if I can get the stuff. Thanks for the stuff, man. Enjoy, your Nepheli? Before I get to fight Rennala, I had to fight the Red Wolf of Radagon. Being very fast, and my bubbles being anything but that, had the upper hand over me. I'm stubborn. Roughly 2 hours go by and the wolf has fallen to my bubbles. Well, this is it, the hardest fight in this run, and I wish I was kidding. Her 80% magic absorption is really nasty. The fight itself took 15 minutes from start phase 1 to end phase 2. It was an absolute nightmare. And the worst part of all, I look fucking ridiculous. it had the highest magic damage reduction. But hey, I won my battle, and that alone is the most important rule of the bubble blower style. And I got my stupid staff. Having maxed out my regal bubble blower, I blew the DTS so hard it died. Probably shouldn't have worded it that way. Anyways, I rushed through Leyndell and made it to gold free, which, thankfully to him mainly walking towards me instead of charging, died pretty fast. Morgoth proved to be a little challenge, but then suddenly, coughing fit. Coughing Morgoths versus Hydrogen Bubble. Who would win? After Morgoth, we made our way to the Fire Giant. I gotta give it to the bubble spells here. They demolished the Fire Giant phase 1. It didn't stand a chance. Phase 2 was a bit slower. There's no way I'm going to hit the weak spots in this stage of the fights, so I had to brute force it. Melina sacrificed herself with a greater bubble, and I got TP'd to Farum Azula. Another surprise was that the Godskins weren't that big of a challenge. And I really wasn't expecting that. I was thinking they would be harder than Rennala, but color me surprised, they weren't. The big bubble destroyed the duel. And now we made it to the second roadblock of this run, Malekith from Berserk. Gurranq was the biggest roadblock here. Malekith? Not so much. Gurranq is more agile and uses more projectile than Malekith. Malekith was really fun though, probably the most fun in any of my runs this far. Wanna hear something funny? Gideon was actually scary in this run. As I couldn't kill him fast enough, he managed to show resistance for a bit. He dealt a fair bit of damage. Godfrey and Hoaraloo, as per usual, weren't all too hard and fun to fight. I really wish I could say more for this fight, but that's pretty much it, unfortunately. Alright, Radagon, you better be blown to pieces, you bitch. Okay, so I know he can parry spells, but I thought he parries for a couple of moments after you cast, but he parries as long as he's walking and there's a life projectile, so I had to change up my plan a bit. So I went back to the drawing board to come up with a plan. So I decided to get the Graven Mass Talisman for additional damage and the Helic Drake +2 Talisman for some much needed holy defense, as his holy attacks were doing some pretty nasty damage to me. The Elden Beast section of the fight doesn't change at all, and with some perseverance, especially with Radagon, the Elden Beast falls. With that, Bubble Buddy claims his rightful throne as the Elden Lord and ushers in the Age of Bubbles. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I need to go now. Bye.